Oh, hello there. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Fun with Phrasals class. This is the class where you get to learn and practice one of the most tricky things in English, phrasal verbs. All of those 2 and 3-part verbs, like get on and get on with, and get around and get up and get down, and not just get words, that are tricky to learn, but very important to sound like a native speaker. So today we're going to be working on Fun with Phrasals. What are we doing? Phrasal verbs for describing people and places. And I'm sure you're going to see some things that you haven't seen before. But first, quick introduction, and then we'll get started. Whoops, this is not my profile page. Let's get my profile on the screen. If you click on my name anywhere on the Verbling website, it'll take you here to my profile. On the left, if you follow me, you can chat with me in the message window or get notifications of my upcoming classes. And on the right, you can book a private tutoring session or a package, and I'll work with you on creating a personalized learning program to help get you to your goals. Just send me a message if you're interested, and we'll get started. Let's take a look at the material. There we go. And if you don't have the Verbling chat, here we go. And let's make sure your microphones are working. Antonio, is your microphone working?
Yes, hello.
Hello. Giancarlo, good morning.
Good morning, John.
Jose, how are
Good
you?
morning, John. I'm doing very well. What was yesterday? What was the problem about? I saw the class on the schedule, and after that, I tried to join to this class, but it was impossible.
Me too. I tried to join the class, and it was impossible too.
Yes?
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
I don't know what happened. The class was running on my YouTube page, but it wasn't running in Verbling. So, and there's no way to join me if you went to YouTube. I don't know.
Yes.
I really don't know. I sent a message to Verbling and they never answered me, so I don't know what happened. But today it's working. Here I
Yeah.
am. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I guess it's just some glitch. Sometimes things have to update. I don't know. Well, here's the plan for today. We're going to be describing people and places. We're going to learn 3 sets of phrasal verbs today. We're going to have 3 or 4 different little activities or exercises. And depending on how well and quickly that goes, we're going to try to use them in a speaking situation at the very end of class. Let's take a look at our first. Okay, in these 3 situations, you've got, excuse me, you've got a little monologue. People are talking to each other. The first one is just for describing people. I put the phrasal verbs at the bottom, right? So read through the list. Put on, wrap up, dress up, do up, freshen up. One of these is going to be used twice. And conveniently, I've put a number where the blank is so you can read the definition. Remember, if you don't know, you don't know. Make an educated guess. This is really more of a presentation, so I don't really expect you to know the right answer. But when we get to the exercises, you're going to do this without any clues, right? So here,
Okay.
try to use the context. Okay, Mr. Antonio, let's find out what we're talking about here with Natasha. Are you ready to do some reading? First one.
Moment. Natasha, I read the Natasha and I love to post restaurant where we have
Yeah,
to
actually it's going to be 1 and 2. And take a look at the definitions below. Go for it, Antonio.
put on formal or special clothes.
Right. And take a look at the second one too. Put a piece of clothing onto your body. So these are both about clothes. And read it and see what you think is the best answer. Go for it.
Maybe it's dress up.
Read the whole sentence because let's hear how it sounds. Read the entire sentence and then put in the word and we'll see if it sounds good. Antonio?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Read the sentence.
The sentence is Natasha and I love going to Post restaurant where we have to
And your guess is? What's your guess?
dress up. No.
And you're correct. Dress up is
Yes.
right. Let's be clear about what posh means. Is a posh restaurant a normal restaurant, or is it special in some way, Antonio?
Special, no? Special,
It
I think
is.
it's special.
If you have to dress up, do you think it's an expensive restaurant or a cheap restaurant?
Maybe it's a expensive and not normal restaurant, because if you need formal or special clothes, it's
That's it. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. So posh is a way of saying fancy, basically. Posh is the same as fancy. Okay. Well, why don't you continue on? Because your sentence has 2 blanks in it, doesn't it? We have to dress up, though Natasha. Keep going, Antonio. Though Natasha.
though Natasha always finds it hard to decide what to. Number 2 is put a piece of clothing onto your body.
Right. So, if the easiest way is to decide what verb probably fits. Forget about the phrasal verbs. What are they trying to say first? We have to dress up, so Natasha finds it hard to decide what to what. Forget about the phrasal verbs and just use common sense.
I think it's put on.
You're absolutely right. Common sense would tell you decide what to wear, and a synonym for wear is to put on. Exactly. There you go. Questions? Clear? Not clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, you got it. You got it. So we've got dress up, excuse me, and put on. Mr. Giancarlo, take a look at number 3 and 4.
Her favorite evening dress is long, red, and tight-fitting, and she has to get me to help her do up the zip.
Very good, very good. Do you know what do up means in this context?
Yeah, it's similar to fasten.
To fasten, right. Not fasting, but fasten.
Fasten.
Exactly.
Fasten.
And
In
why?
British English is fasten, right? Fasten. Or no?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's the T. The T is always silent in words like castle, not castle. Whistle, not whistle, right? Whistle. Fasten. It's another one. It's just one of those silent T's.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. We have to do up, which means fasten, because she can't reach it because it's behind her, right? She can't reach it herself. All right. Well, we lost Jose. I think he's having some connection problems. So why don't we do this? Why don't you do the next one as well, Giancarlo? We'll give Jose a chance if he gets back.
As we live in Moscow, Moscow. As we live in Moscow, we have to, well, before going out in winter, we have to I'm not sure, but maybe it's a wrap up. I don't know the meaning of wrap up.
Wrap up is what it says. Dressed in warm clothes. Yeah, that's it. Wrap up is dress in warm clothes. So when you put in the right word, just jump down there to the definition. You've got a simple definition, and then we can clarify it further if you need it. But you're right. Wrap up well before going out in winter. That's it. In number 5, oh my goodness again. In number 5, the phrasal verb is separable because it's blank a fur coat blank. Look at the definition of number 5. It says see note number 2. So if you know number 2, you know number 5.
Yes. Well, before going out in winter, and she put a long for coat on.
She put a long fur
For
coat.
coat on.
Exactly right. Okay, so you can put on a coat or you can put a coat on. Exactly right. All right. So we got the last one. Let's say a quick hello to Nader, who's joining us now. Hello, Nader. How are you? Oh, because can't speak today. Okay. So are you going to just use your mic today, Nader, because you're at work or something? I mean, you're just going to use the chat window today? Okay, fine. No problem. No problem. Okay. So let's go to Antonio for the last one, and Nader, I'll give you a chance in the next round. Okay, the last sentence, Antonio.
Okay. The number 6, no?
That's right.
Yes. As soon as we arrive anywhere,
Excuse me. Sorry.
no problem. She goes straight to the ladies' room to the
Okay,
last
and
one is freshen up.
right, to freshen up. Good. And look at the definition below. Brush your hair, refresh your makeup, have a quick wash to freshen up. Okay, great. Which of these phrasal verbs were new for you in this section, class?
Freshen up
Freshen up, okay.
and wrap up.
And wrap up, okay. You know, you wrap your presents at Christmas time, Giancarlo. Before you give people a present, you wrap them up with wrapping paper. So think about it like that. You wrap is to cover something. So you have to wrap up your body if it's cold. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
wrap. Make sense?
Yes, it makes sense because wrap up is, yeah, I knew that it was just used for presents, wrap up. Wrap them up, wrap it up. But as you said before, it has sense because maybe when we are cold or it's cold, we wrap up our body, right?
And in ancient Egypt, they used to wrap up their noble people, and they became mummies. You can wrap up anything. Okay, so if you want to review your answers, then just take a look at slide number 4, right? You've got the answers here and the definitions. Let's
Yes.
go on to, sorry, question?
Yes, John, I have a question. But it doesn't have to deal with, it doesn't deal with this kind of topic. It's another question that, do you remember when we were checking the restaurants and the kind of restaurants that we don't give a tip? For example, McDonald's or all those fast food restaurants. How do you call them in general, John? Because I want to remember the word, but I can't right now. For example, we have elegant restaurants or fancy restaurants, but on the other hand, we have fast food restaurants. Is there another name to? Well, there is another name to call them. Do you remember, John? How do you call them?
Besides fast food?
Yeah, besides fast food, and it's a self-service when they are the places where you don't leave a tip. But I can't remember that.
I can't think of another word besides fast food or self-service because
When they are a chain of restaurants and
franchise?
not exactly franchise. There is another concept.
I really can't think of anything else. I mean, you're giving a tip because you're being served, right? So the opposite of being served would be self-service. So that's why I can't think of another word for it other than a self-service fast food chain restaurants, you mean? But chain could be service. I mean, TGI Fridays is a chain restaurant, but you get served by a server. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of another word. Do you know, was it in one of these classes? Was it a phrasal verb class? Do you remember what kind of class it was?
Well, it was a class where we were talking about restaurants, and we were talking about, for example, the first slide or the second slide was about some guys who were talking about their personal life, and one of them was
Mm-hmm.
inviting her to go out, maybe to a place, and then there were kind of or types of different types of restaurants,
Right.
and you mentioned, okay, in these restaurants they are fancy or elegant restaurants, and the other hand we have fast food restaurants, for example McDonald's or Burger King. And you mentioned a concept, very short. I remember that it is a very short concept
Mm-hmm.
used for this kind of restaurants.
So it's a
Uh,
vocabulary class then. So,
It's a vocabulary class, yeah.
all right. I'll
But
I'll
okay,
I'll
I'm
take a
gonna.
look. I'll take a look. So while we're doing this one, I'll look through. So it's got to be one about restaurants. Maybe cooking in restaurants. Was it recently? Because there's a
Well,
class cooking in restaurants on the 13th of October,
it was
and
like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
3 or 4 weeks ago
3 or 4 weeks ago, John.
in September. Jeez, I have no idea.
Well, I'm gonna investigate. Sorry, sorry for interrupting your class, but I'm gonna investigate it.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I'll see what I can find, but I have to do it after class.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we're going to move on to part B, which is describing places. So again, we have a little monologue, same basic idea. Wait 1 second. Oh my God, maybe I'm getting sick. Same basic idea here, one person speaking, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, where is 5? And 5. 5 is on the bottom left side, but it's cut. So you see part of it on the second to last line and the rest of it on the last line, where it says from one corner. Okay? So same thing here. Stick out, set apart, stick out again. Here you're going to use it twice. Run down and litter with. Just quickly, if I litter, does anyone know what am I doing? If I litter, you could be arrested for littering, or at least you could be fined for littering. What am I doing if I litter, class? Any ideas? I'll give you a hint. It's something that you would have to do outside. If you're in a park, littering is a real problem because you don't want to get the place dirty for anyone else. You want to have as little impact as you can.
Yeah, it's
Throwing
similar. Yeah,
trash.
throwing
Yeah,
trash. Yeah,
as the
exactly.
dad says, right. So throwing trash away, but not in a trash can, is littering. Just so you know. So we've got the phrasal verb litter with. So keep that definition in mind. And run down. Run down. Run down could be for how you feel. Run down could be for the physical condition of a place. Okay? Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. So, Mr. Nader, I want you to take the first sentence, which has two different phrasal verbs in it. Okay, you can write your answers in the chat window. When we arrived in the town, we were surprised to see how blank it looked. The streets were blank, rubbish. Okay, while he's doing that, Mr. Antonio, why don't you take number 3 for us? Again, it has 2 phrasal verbs. And then Giancarlo, you'll take number 5.
Okay.
Wait, he's got his answers already. So he's saying, when we arrived to town, we were surprised to see how run down it looked. And I agree. It means shabby, poor conditions. The streets were litter with rubbish. Good, except look at the verb tense. Were littered, right. So it's got to be the passive voice. The past simple passive, were littered. Okay, great. Antonio, let's take number 3.
Okay. However, one building in the town center number 3 was noticeable because it was different.
Noticeable.
Sorry?
Noticeable.
Noticeable.
Right. So something that's very obvious. You see it immediately. It's noticeable.
Stick out.
Good, but look at the verb tense.
In the past, stuck out.
Stuck out, right. One building in the town center stuck out. And stuck out means basically to stand out. But stand out can be a positive thing. And stick out is probably not positive because stand out is like, I passed my exam with 100%. I stand out from my peers. But stick out, we have an expression, to stick out like a sore thumb, right? To stick out like a sore thumb. Like you're always hitting when you get hurt, you're always hurting yourself again because you can't move your thumb in this case. So you're always banging it into things. So it usually has a kind of a negative meaning, right? To stick out. Okay, excellent. I think you're doing number 4 as well, Antonio.
Number 4 is it's tidy windows. It's tidy window boxes and fresh paint. Number 4 made it different, usually better than offer of the same type. It's similar as the before, but
but it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, maybe it's set apart.
It's got to be set apart. So set apart just means that it makes it different. Something makes it different. So the building in the town center was not run down. It had fresh paint. That set it apart from the rundown buildings. Okay, and Mr. JC, look at number 5. Read 5 until the end for us, please.
There was a lovely little lamp. Stick out from from one corner.
There was a lovely little lamp. Okay, but look at the form of the word.
There was a lovely little lamp sticking out.
Good. Sticking out. Good.
From one corner. When we went closer, we found it was the town museum.
Okay. So there you go. We now, and if you want to review these, of course, just take a look at slide 6. Okay. So we've got now a set for describing people, a set of phrasal verbs for describing places. And here I've got 3 situations for you where we're going to be comparing and contrasting using phrasal verbs. So this is a short set. Blend in, tell from, stand out, which we've done, tell apart, and go well. Let those sink in for just a minute. Actually, you know what? I just realized I didn't put the answers here for you, but I will add a page right now, so I have the answers for you when you're finished. Okay? And of course, number 1, I forgot to cover up the words. So unfortunately, the answers are done for you for number 1. Look at number 1. You've got the girl there with her purse around her shoulder. Her handbags and boots go very well together. Oh, that should have been blanked out for you. I apologize for that. Sometimes I'm rushing to get these things done and I make mistakes. Whoops. But the other 2, they are done. They are covered up. So, Mr. Nader, I want you to take the one with Joe and Mel. Take a look at the picture, because that's going to be your clue. Okay? And we're back to Antonio for Lee, and then maybe Giancarlo for Vic in the last picture. Okay? So while Nader is writing his, why don't you go ahead, Antonio, look at the picture and read Lee. What do you notice about the picture, by the way, Antonio, on the right side?
The first?
No, the one on the right.
Ah, okay.
What do you notice about that picture?
Her handbag and boots go very well.
No, the picture on the right, on the right.
The picture on the right. Oh, okay. A lot of people.
A lot of people.
A chorus.
A what? A chorus?
Yeah,
Maybe.
it
Okay.
seems. It's possible.
Maybe. Is everyone the same in the picture?
Yeah, everybody eats. Put on the same clothes. Well,
Same
the same, the similar,
uniform. The same uniform.
the same uniform.
Giancarlo, does anyone look different in that picture? Who looks different?
Yeah. The taller boy, the tallest guy, because he's not wearing tie.
He's not
Okay.
wearing a tie. His vest looks like it's dirty, or his sweater looks like it's a little dirty. His hair looks a bit unkempt.
How do you say unkempt?
Unkempt, like this. Give me a second.
Please.
Yeah, like that.
Unkempt.
And so that means that he's like not tidy. Okay? Unkempt. Oh my God, you know what? Let me just say this properly for unkempt, like that. Unkempt. So the P is unkempt. The P, I guess, is silent. I never really thought about this before.
Unkempt.
Unkempt, right. The P is silent, yeah. So, untidy, messy, dirty, something like that. Unkempt. Good word, by the way. Good,
yes.
Good SAT word if you're taking your college exams. Unkempt. Here we go. Oh, wait. Let's do Nadir's first because he's already ready. Nadir says, for Mel, he's got Mel telling apart. Okay. Joe says, I can never blank one twin blank the other, can you? And he says, tell one twin from the other. To tell from is to say the difference. I can never tell one twin from the other is correct. And then Mel says, no, I can never blank them blank. I can never tell them apart. To tell one from another and to tell something apart from another are synonyms. Okay, both with tell. Okay, so great job, Nadir. They're correct. Okay, I think Lee was Antonio's, and look at your definition to look different. And Vic was Giancarlo, and look at your definition, look or seem the same. Go ahead, Antonio. Let's give it a try.
About Lee, no?
Mm-hmm.
You will always in a crowd. Tell apart. Oh no, a moment. Yeah, I think it's tell apart. It's similar to set apart.
Mm-hmm. But we've already used tell apart, so we can't use it again, unfortunately. So what's your second guess? Second guess?
Yeah, I think it's tell apart.
I know, but we've used tell apart already. We've used it. So, if we've already used tell apart, what else can we use?
Yeah, is you will always tell apart in a crown.
But we've used it already. Antonio. Antonio, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
We've already used tell apart with Joe and Mel. So we can't use it again. We've used it.
I don't understand, sorry.
Have we used tell apart before, Antonio?
No, before no.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. We used it in the one on the left. Okay?
Yeah, and then it's stand out.
Okay, there you go. Joe will always stand out in a crowd. It's got to be, right? If we've used tell apart, then it's got to be stand out. I agree. Okay, very good, very good. Give me a second, because I'm just making the answers for you. I should have done this before, and I forgot to put the answer page, but I think I've just fixed it. Oh, it looks a little bit weird. Okay, there we go. So, Mr. Giancarlo, what does Vic reply then?
Yes, I'm sure he'll never stand out,
I don't think
or
so.
or maybe he'll never blend in.
Blend in, because this means to look the same, so it's the opposite of stand out. Okay? I just added the answer page here. So if you want to review your answers, take a look at slide 8. So, Antonio, any questions about stand out?
No, I think I understand.
Yeah? Okay, so
Yeah,
let's give it a try. Let's give it a try then. Okay? Now you're going to try this with no help whatsoever. Nader, you take number 1, Antonio 2, Giancarlo number 3, and Nader, if you like, go on to number 4 as well. Okay? So while we're waiting for Nader, Antonio, you can go ahead to number 2. While waiting for Nader's answer. Go for it. Whoops, we already got Nader's answer. So Nader is saying, you've had such a long journey. Would you like, oh my God, I can't read. What's happening to me? Would you like some time to freshen up before we go out to dinner? Excellent. Freshen up. Put on some makeup. Change your clothes. There you go. Excellent. Okay, Antonio?
Number 2. It's a very informal party. You don't have to dress up.
You don't have to dress up because it's not posh. Very good. Okay, so far so good. Giancarlo, let's take a look at number 3.
Will you help me? Zip on? No, do up.
Do up.
Do up my dress. I can't reach the buttons at the back.
This one could be difficult because you probably don't wear a dress very often, Giancarlo, so I can see why you might be confused, but it is do up. That's exactly right. Okay, excellent. So we're back to Nader for number 4. Okay, and while we're waiting for that, I'm going to, oh, we got it already. Okay, number 4. He says, it's freezing cold today. So, if you go out, do dress up well and wrap up a scarf. Dress up well. I don't know about that. Because dress up well seems like you're going to wear fancy clothes or formal clothes. Wrap up well sounds good. And put on a scarf. Much better. Much better. Wrap up well, like you're a package. Wrap yourself up well and put on a scarf. Okay, excellent. That's it. So those were all from the first set about people. Here, I've got a mistake. I want you to think about the meaning as well as the grammar of the sentence. You've got to correct it, but you also have to think about if it agrees with the verb tense, past, present, future, or singular or plural, and that kind of thing. Okay? So we're back to Antonio for the first one.
I don't want to wear my new jacket tonight. You can put on it if you like. I want to wear my new jacket tonight.
This one, you've got to ask yourself, I want you to look at the second sentence. You've got to ask yourself if it sounds correct to you. Read the second part again. The second part on the right.
The second part is right. It's the first where is the mistake, no?
No, I want you to look at the second part on the right. Read it again for me, please. The second part.
You can put on it if you like.
Okay. It doesn't sound quite right. Can you catch the mistake?
Yeah.
No, I don't know where is the mistake.
Giancarlo, what do you think?
You can put it on if you like.
Mm,
You can put it on. It's the order of the words. So you can put it on. It just if you put on it, it just doesn't sound right. So it has to be separable, or this is the difficult thing about phrasal verbs. Some can separate, some cannot, and some you must separate, or it just doesn't sound right. There's really not a logical reason. It just has to do with having a lot of listening and reading practice and getting used to the patterns. So you can put it on if you like. That means you can wear it, by the way. Okay? So, Mr. Giancarlo, tick number 2. Adair, tick number 3. And we'll go back to you, Antonio, for number 4. Okay, go ahead, Giancarlo.
Although the house looked run down from the outside, it was very shabby inside.
Not shabby, but shabby.
Shabby inside.
Good.
It is a difficult one. Although the house looked run down from the outside, it was very shabby.
What does shabby mean?
Shabby is like similar to run down.
It is. So you've got a problem here because look at the very first word of the sentence, although.
Although.
That's your clue. Although that, what would you expect to be the second part? If you start with although, what would you expect the second part?
A negative one, a negative idea.
Yeah, exactly. So it would not run down if it's negative. You expect it to be not run down, but shabby is a synonym of run down. So how can we fix it?
Okay, although the house looked run down from the outside, it wasn't very shabby inside.
Okay, there you go. It wasn't very shabby inside. Good. How could you fix it without changing it to a negative? I want you to put a word in there that means the opposite of shabby, but that is not a negative. So not wasn't. Let's keep it with was, but let's put in a word that means the opposite of shabby. What's the opposite of shabby? Any word. Doesn't even have to be a phrasal verb. Any word you can think of.
Okay. It was very nice inside.
It was very nice inside. It was very smart inside. It was very clean inside. It was very well maintained inside. Yeah, anything you like. Okay, so the key word there was although. Although is a contrast connector. So it shows you there's going to be a contrast so that the second part must be the opposite of the first part, or different, significantly different than the first part. Okay, we're on to, I think it was Nader for number 3. So you're saying, let's see, it was very kempt? No, kempt does not exist, Nader, I'm sorry. There is only unkempt. There is no kempt. There should be a kempt, but there isn't. Just like you can say, oh, she's very nonchalant. She's not very obvious when she has an opinion. She's very nonchalant. Guess what? You cannot be chalant. There's only nonchalant. There's no chalant. There is no kempt. At least I can't think of a context where I've heard anyone use kempt. I can double check, but I don't think so. Let me double check just to make sure. I say these things and then I start to doubt myself, you know? I'm just curious if you can say kempt in any context. We have kept. Nope. You know what? It doesn't even come up in the dictionary. Nope, it's only unkempt. That's what I thought. Weird, isn't it? Okay. What is this? Freedom Dictionary, kempt. Let's take a look. The Free Dictionary. Also found on Wikipedia. Nice and tidy. Well, the way to look at it is if you can find examples. So, nicely kept beard. I have never heard that in my entire life. But if it says it's true, then it must be true. Let me see if I can find. Let's see how many hits I get in Google. If I Google for it, using the filter site.com so that I'm only searching in .com sites. So maybe I'll find native speaker examples. I'm going to search in the New York Times. Got to go to a source that is, a good place for native speakers. Okay, New York Times. I don't get a lot of hits at all. The hits are like, let's see. I've got a few from the 90s, a few from the 1980s. They're mostly from the 90s and 80s. So there are a few hits. Let me see if this is one. I've got, no, these are all well kempt. What a Kempt Dog, 1995. Just taking a quick look at this one. Well kempt. A second here. In this link, for example, so I don't get a lot of hits. I don't get a lot of hits. This one, right? Yeah, it's not very common. Here's one. I'm in the elevator of my East. Oh, what is this? This is an old Metropolitan Diary. When I was in New York, this was actually kind of funny. They used to have this little. I don't think they do it anymore, but they used to have this daily diary of weird things that people would notice in the city. I remember this when I was still in New York. Metropolitan Diary. So it's got different kinds of scenes. I'm in the elevator of my East Side apartment building when a woman gets on with her dog, a very well-groomed Yorkie. Impressed with the pet's looks and wanting to say something kind to the tenant who was recently moved in, I say, "What a kempt dog." Bad idea. Instead of being pleased, she glares at me and then bends down to the dog. "Never greet this woman, Harry," she says. "She just insulted you." I don't know what that means, but whatever. Apparently, you don't want to say that to someone with a pedigree dog. Anyway, take a look. Take a look at the website. Okay, so where are we? We're on wrap-up number 3. If you're going out in the snow, make sure you wrap up instead of wrap on. Good. That's it. Wrap up well. Okay, we're back to Antonio for 4.
Do you think this scarf and coat get together? Okay.
So, what's the correction?
I think the word this is better to say this. It's plural, scarf and coat.
No. It's singular. This scarf, singular. One scarf. Because you have an and, so you have two singular things. One scarf and one coat. So you cannot say these because of the and. It's making a list of two singular things. Okay? So the answer is the phrasal verb is wrong because you said get together. Okay. Get together, that means that they're a couple. They're not a couple. Like, do you think Bobby and Greg, do you think it's like you're gossiping, like you're a 14-year-old girl. Are Marshall and Brad going to get together after the prom? I don't know. Try again. Not get together, but...
But and then is with the verb go, no get, no?
Oh, okay. So the answer is, do they go together? Yeah? Sounds good to me. Go together means the same as to match. When your clothes match, they look good together. Okay, great. Mr. Giancarlo, number 5.
5. He hates the way his ears stick off.
Sounds pretty funny.
Why?
sounds like his ears are falling off of his head. That's why.
He hates the way his ears stick off.
This is a sentence about Obama. The one thing people make fun of about Obama is his ears.
Yes. Yeah, but I can find a mistake here. He hates the way he hears.
The mistake is off. What's the preposition? That sounds right. Off is when something falls off. Sounds like your ears are falling off your body, but they don't fall off.
Okay, stick out.
Stick out, right. He hates when his ears stick out, right? They're not flat against his head like normal people. They look like Dumbo the elephant. Okay?
Yes, stick out.
Okay, great. Mr. Nader, take number 6. Antonio 7. Giancarlo 8. Nader's already got his done. It takes me a long time to get the kids ready in the morning because Sammy and Lisa can't do on their own shoes yet. And he says to do up or to put on. Well, the answer would be to do up. You're right, to do up. Because you have to fasten the shoes with the shoelaces. So do up is the only answer that works. They can put on their shoes, but they can't fasten them yet. They can't tie them. Okay? You could say the same for wearing a tie. I hate to go to formal parties because I can't do up my own tie. Okay? You can put it on, but you can't tie it together. Okay? There you go. Antonio, number 7.
Bill and his brother are so alike. I can't see one from the other.
Oh, we had this one earlier. This was just like the one we did at the very beginning of class.
I can't see.
Of course you can see them. You have eyes, right? Of course you can see them. So see is not the right word because you can see them. But think about, what does it really mean? His brother and he are alike. Are they twins, do you think? Could they be twins?
I don't know. Are so alike.
How do you say twins in Spanish, Antonio?
It's gemelos, no?
Okay, good. That's right. Gemini in Portuguese.
Maybe here.
Could they be twins? Yes or no, Antonio? Could they be twins?
No, here they aren't twins.
Okay, but could they be? Yeah, they could be, right? They're alike. They could be twins. If they are alike or they're twins, will you know, by looking at one, will you know whether it's Bill or his brother? If you just see one, will you know who it is? Probably not, right? Probably not. So that's the meaning. I can't distinguish Bill from his brother. So what's the synonym of distinguish?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
So
no.
maybe they are. Moment, please. The word
no.
is.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
no, twins, no. I don't know.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the twins. Look. Take a look. It's got to be one of those phrasal verbs at the bottom of the page. What do you think, Antonio? Ring a bell? Blend in, tell from, stand out, tell apart, go well. What do you think? It's definitely one of those.
Blend in? No.
No, blend in was for yours with the crowd. You and Giancarlo did Lee and Vic. And Vic said he'll never blend in because that kid is too tall. So it's not blend in.
Therefore.
Huh?
I don't know.
Giancarlo, what do you think?
Is tell from.
I can't tell from. I
I
can't
can tell one from the other.
from the other. That's right. I can't tell one from the other.
I'm sorry.
You failed. You have to leave. I'm sorry, but you cannot continue in verbling anymore, Antonio. If you get that wrong. Antonio?
Yes.
I'm joking. You're supposed to laugh.
Ah, okay. I'm afraid.
To tell apart or to tell from. To tell, if you tell apart, it's like this. I can't tell one apart from the other. Or if you take out a part, I can't tell one from the other. Both of them will work. Both will work. To tell apart or to tell one from another is to distinguish between. Have you ever had Coca-Cola, Antonio?
It's similar, but not the same.
Wait. Have you ever tried Coca-Cola? Antonio?
Yeah, Coca-Cola.
Yes. Have you ever tried Pepsi-Cola?
Pepsi-Cola, for example, is similar, but not the same.
It's not exactly the same. Can you tell Coke apart from Pepsi? Can you tell them apart?
No, if you...
If you don't know what you're drinking, could you tell them apart?
they
Or-
are tell from the other. No. Yeah.
First, just answer yes or no. Can you distinguish the taste of Coca-Cola and Pepsi? Can you tell the difference?
No, I can't.
Me neither. I can't either. So you would say, I can't tell Coke apart from Pepsi. You can say it like that. I can't tell Coke apart from Pepsi. Or I can't tell one from the other.
Okay.
So let's put that. Yeah, let's put that in the chat window for your notes. I can't tell one from the other, like that. Or apart. I can't tell Coke apart from Pepsi. Actually, does Pepsi still exist? Do they even sell that anymore? I don't even know if that's even a thing anymore. Maybe I haven't stopped drinking soft drinks about 20 years ago, so I don't really know. Okay, we're on to the last one, Mr. JC, number 8. Oh, it does exist. Okay, thank you, Didier.
It's a very formal party, so you don't need to dress up. Well, it's a very formal party, so you need to dress up.
Exactly, right. It's not logical. You don't need. You do need to dress up, or you should dress up. Okay, very good, very good. So, I'll tell you what, we're at the end of the hour, but I've got one more exercise for you to try here. It's just to fill in the blank if you want to give it a shot. And this should say exercise 4. Oh no, let me fix that. That should say exercise 4, not 3, sorry. This is what happens when you're rushing to get the material finished for class. If you want to try exercise 4 on your own, 3 and 4, I will put the answers at the end of the document later today. If I forget, send me a message, because I'm a little bit busy, but I'll try. Okay? I'll try to remember. Here, some of the phrasal verbs from the unit can be used in a metaphorical way. Try to work out the metaphorical meaning of the phrasal verbs from their basic meaning by answering the questions. So you can see, number 1, military history is littered with examples of armies being destroyed because of generals or politicians making silly mistakes. Okay? So what do they mean by littered with? You have to try to rephrase it in your own words. Want to try that before we go? What do we mean by littered with in the first one? You don't have to replace it with a synonym. You can just kind of explain it in your own words.
It's similar to give or
History,
share, maybe.
Give or share, but sharing what? Because here it's about examples. History shares examples. I think you got the right idea, but it's not the right word. I mean, I don't want you to find a synonym. I want you to explain it. Just explain it to me. Let's put it this way, Giancarlo. Are there many examples or few examples, according to the sentence?
There's many examples.
Many examples. So to be littered with is to have many, many, many examples of something. Just like litter in a dirty park, in a dirty city. There's litter everywhere. So we use that to say many, many examples. Okay? So for this exercise, you can try on your own. Oh, let me see. I just updated it. It should say exercise 4. Let me just refresh the page. There we go. Okay, so for this exercise, you're just going to explain it in your own words. If you want to try that, you can send me your answers, or I'll put the answers for you. You can self-correct. You can send me any questions or doubts through the Verbling message system, and I'll be happy to answer it, or in the next class. Okay, and Giancarlo, if you can't find the class where we talked about it, just remind me, and I'll try to see which presentation I was using about the restaurant. Okay.
Yes, John. Thanks so much. Sure.
Okay. We're going to stop here. I'll be back in just a minute for our business basics class. We're going to be creating a career plan for you. You are going to be counseling a partner, and you're going to be counseled by someone else to create a career plan using the key adjectives, key words, and key phrases that we've been learning in the last couple of classes. I'll be right back. See you soon. Bye for now, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.